And you'll recall that a while back we added a wrapper div because we wanted to have some bars on the screen for the logo panel here, which is going to be stretched across the page all the way across the top, but we wanted to center some content inside of it. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Remember, we added this div with the class of wrapper throughout the page anywhere we wanted to center the content, such as inside of this logo panel and also inside of the navigation bar. So navbar will stretch 100% of the screen, logo panel will stretch 100% of the screen, but wrapper that's containing the H1 and H2 with the name of the company and the wrapper here containing the navigation, that we're going to give a fixed width and center it. So I've already applied that on all the different pages, and we can just come back into the CSS and add the class for it by saying .wrapper, and we'll give it a fixed width, 960 pixels. Now we can change this when we move on to the responsive design. What we'll do is, depending on the size of the device, we can change the width of the wrapper, and because we didn't specify a width for the other content inside, it's going to scale accordingly. Okay. And you'll remember that from the previous one-off examples in the lecture slides, we looked at using auto margin to center the wrapper. So when we only use two values inside of padding or margin, the first value specifies the top and bottom, so this means 0 margin on the top and bottom, and the second value means both sides, left and right. So setting an auto margin on left and right will then push equal amount of spacing on the left and right, which will accomplish centering the element. Let's actually take a look at that here in the browser. So if we hit refresh, you can see all my content is now centered. If you'd like to be able to see the wrapper to really know like what this container is doing, we can temporarily, at least, we can give it a background color so it's easier for you to see it. Like that. And then we'll hit refresh. And by giving it a background color, you can actually really see that wrapper. So there's a larger div up here called logo with an ID of logo that's stretching 100%, and we're going to go ahead and give that a gradient color coming up here pretty soon, a fade from white to gray. And then we've created this wrapper, div wrapper, inside of it to create a box that has a fixed width that's going to center the content. And you can see even when I scale the browser in wider or narrower, it's keeping that content inside the wrapper centered. So there's actually one wrapper here around the logo. There is another wrapper around here, which is around the navigation. There's another wrapper around all of the content, the main content here, that contains all these sections. So there's like a section called company news that's inside of the wrapper, and that section is being centered because it's inside of that wrapper. And so is this thing called artist corner. There's a section here that we labeled artist corner earlier that's also inside the wrapper, and also a section that's about the company that contains this image and this paragraph here in the heading here that's also inside of that wrapper. Okay, cool. And then also this is a section just before the footer. We created a section that's on all the different pages. It's called details, that has the contact information links and the social media links there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove the background color off there, but anytime you're building a layout, it may be easier for you to just give these containers background colors just so you can see it, and then that makes it a little bit easier to see where things are starting and stopping, where things start and end, and helps out when you're positioning things. Okay,